3, 2. Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 31 of Popcorn Problems. My name is Elon Pressman, and I'm here with my very good friend and fellow co-host,
Nicholas Pasco. Every week, we'll make sure you're caught up with the biggest news and movies in Hollywood.
This week, we're reviewing They Will Kill You, one of last weekend's biggest new releases. But before we get to that, what's poppin'? Where we run through the biggest movie stories of the week. What's up, guys? How is everyone doing? I hope y'all are doing well. How you doing, Nick?
I am currently going through a cold, so I do apologize to our listeners for my mouth breathing throughout the entirety of this podcast.
Yeah.
Unless you're into that.
Mike from Stranger Things would be very upset at you. You mouth breather.
Is that a thing he says in the show?
Yeah. He says it like in his first scene of season 5. That's why I remember it. And that's what I visualize every time you say the word mouth breather. Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't remember what he would say that, but whatever. Continue.
Yeah. It's like with the bullies. It's like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Oh, I think no. I remember now. Yeah. I know what you're talking
yes.
about.
There we go. All right. So starting off with the box office, like we always do, this weekend pulled in $96.9 million, which is up 21.9% from this weekend last year, but down 37.6% from last weekend. And number one this week was Project Hail Mary. In its second weekend, it pulled in $54.5 million domestic, which was a 32% drop. Its domestic total is now at $164.3 million. Its global total is at $300.8. And just for everyone to have an idea, the budget was to around $250 million. I'm really happy that the movie's doing so well. That's really good for Ryan Gosling and just like movie theaters in general. It's awesome because I know so many people like at my job that have like seen this or want to see this. Like they're just hype around going to the movies for this, which is really, really cool.
For sure. Honestly, it's like something I haven't seen before for, not entirely an original film, a pretty original film in terms of like not having any franchises attached to it already.
Yeah. So the second weekend for Project Hail Mary was better than the second weekend for Dune Part 2, and better than this, like, the percentage drop was better than that of Dune Part 2 and Oppenheimer. And it passed Creed 3 to become Amazon MGM's biggest movie ever, which is awesome. A second this weekend is Hoppers. In its fourth week, it pulled in $12.2 million domestic, a 31% drop from last week, which means that domestically it's at $138.6 million, globally $297.6 million. This is going to be like the last weekend for this to make a lot of money before Super Mario Galaxy comes in next week and is going to be the big animated movie that everyone's going to be going to see. At number 3 this weekend was They Will Kill You, which is the movie we're going to be reviewing this week, which brought in $5 million domestic and globally $9 million on a $20 million budget. It opened to mid reviews, 66% Rotten Tomatoes, B minus cinema score, and probably isn't going to make much profit if it's even going to turn a profit.
Did you see the budget?
Yeah, it's a $20 million budget.
And how much did it get this weekend, opening weekend?
Yeah, $5 million domestic, $9 million global.
Yeah, probably not. It'll probably get like 15 million.
Yeah. Outside of the top 3, I want to quickly mention that Bollywood film that I talked about last week, Dura Hundar: The Revenge, is still in the top 10. It was in fourth place this week. It only dropped 53%, which is still on like a fraction of the theaters that most of these, like the amount of screens. I think it only has under 1,000 screens, while all these are playing on over 3,000, which is cool. Ready or Not 2, Here I Come was in 6th place. And I don't want to spoil my review, but I will be drawing comparisons a lot to Ready or Not. So that's why I wanted to bring it up here that it's still in the box and it's still in the top 10, but it did drop 56%.
Yeah.
And it's only at a 23.5 global total. I think it's a little bit above the original, but not enough above the original. So that's
You mean in
interesting.
quality or money?
Like
Box
money.
office. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
I mean,
Scream
yeah, I
7.
remember. Sorry, I remember the original not making much of anything either. I was honestly surprised when they announced a
Yeah,
sequel.
I think it became very popular like after its theatrical run,
Yeah.
with like horror with the horror community,
Hmm.
especially with after those directors, because the director of those of like Radio Silence, they did Scream 5 and 6, so they just have like a pretty big fan base as directors.
Interesting.
Um, yeah. Speaking of Scream, that's still in the top 10. That is in seventh place. It passed the 200 million global point. It's the first Scream movie to pass the 200 million point. So I'm really happy for that movie. I just wanted to give that a shout out.
Whoop.
Yeah, overall, Project Hail Mary made up more than half of the entire box office for this weekend. Like I said, it's Amazon MGM's highest grossing film ever. It is currently the top grossing film of 2026. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for the box office. Couple like news, like movie announcements, casting announcements, stuff like I wanna quickly talk about.
Hmm.
Um, Keeping on the Ryan Gosling train, it was announced that he's gonna be starring in the new Daniels film. It's gonna be by
Oh
the
yeah.
people of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Hmm.
It's gonna be their first film since Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it's gonna be starring Ryan Gosling. It's really exciting. I'm happy Ryan Gosling is gonna be in so many things. He has a Star Wars movie coming up. He has this. Um, because I feel like the time between Barbie and I mean we had the Fall Guy, I guess, but like he really hasn't been in much, so it's nice to
Yeah.
see him
Come back.
getting a lot more roles. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love Ryan Gosling. I think he's awesome. Um, so this was announced, I want to say late last week, that Glenn Powell was joining. Well, first they
Oh.
announced that Fox McCloud is gonna be in the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Hmm.
Then a couple of days later, they announced that Glenn Powell is going to be voicing him, which is really really cool. Um, it seems more and more like we're leading up to Smash Bros. Right? That's where this
Yeah.
has to be
Oh,
coming.
absolutely. I've put a lot of thought to this, and there's no way there's not. We got Pikmin. We got Star Fox, and then I think there's a third non Mario related IP within the Mario film,
And that's what they're revealing. There's probably more that they
and
haven't
that's what they're
revealed yet,
revealing.
right?
Exactly. There are people saying, Kirby in the post credit scene. I could 100% see that happening. I'm so sorry,
No,
but
you're good.
but yeah, like I don't know. We're 100% building up to Smash Bros. I couldn't have it any other way. Listen. I'm not the biggest fan of these movies. I wish they were turned into a different direction, and I don't think we're gonna get the best quality movies out of it, and that's really disheartening. Especially from what I've heard from Mario Galaxy movies of like early reviews. It seems, I don't want to talk about it too much, but uh, it seems like the same vibe, and I would like a genuine good plot. Not even not I don't think I'm asking for anything crazy here, but just something. And but you know, at the end of the day, these movies are fan service slop. It'll be fan service slop. I'm excited to see the fan service slop. I will be eating. I will be eating the slop, and just having the concept of a Super Smash Brothers movie, in my like mid 20s, bro, is I don't know. I feel like that. I feel like that'll save me from the edge. Is all I'm gonna say. Is like, I feel like oh, it's something to look forward to. You know what I mean? So hell yeah, I'm down for it.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's so cool that we live in a time where we actually might be getting a Smash Bros. Movie.
Yeah.
Like that's just crazy to think about. Um, yeah, I'm very curious. I'm excited to see the film. I'm probably gonna watch it very soon, just because it does come out like on Wednesday, like the day the review drop, like this episode drops, it'll
Yeah.
already be playing in theaters. So I'm really excited to see it. Um, yeah, it's gonna be a fun conversation next week. I am really looking forward to that, just because I think we're both pretty big Nintendo fans, and I think we saw the first one together, if I remember correctly,
I
right?
you might be right about that. You,
I believe we did.
you might be right about that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
Uh, um,
Okay, so yeah. Moving on, we have more casting announcement. Another casting announcement for the live-action Netflix Scooby-Doo series. Paul Walter Hauser is going to be joining the cast. It's unrevealed what he's going to be playing. It's
Probably
just
a
that he's going to be a
villain.
recurring. Sorry.
Probably a villain. Probably.
Yeah, he's going to be like like a recurring character in the show. So
Yeah. Okay. I feel like it would make sense for him to be like one of the.
he's very Scooby-Doo coded. So
Yeah.
I approve. I don't mind this at all.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he is. Next, it was announced that Kirsten Dunst is going to be joining Sydney Sweeney in The Housemaid's Secret, which is going to be the sequel to The Housemaid, which came out this year. They actually dropped a poster today. I can't believe I'm talking about this. I can't believe I saw that first one.
I can't believe
Uh,
anyone saw that movie. Honestly, I
it
really
made a
thought that was.
lot of money.
That's what I'm
It
saying.
made
Like
four
I saw
over
the
four
poster of
hundred
it.
million dollars.
I saw the poster of it and I was just like, oh, this is like one of those movies that like comes and goes from the theater, like nobody gives a fuck. Especially has like Sydney Sweeney, which she was in her flop era. So I was like, oh yeah, nobody's gonna watch this.
Yeah,
And then it
she
was like
came
one of the
back real
biggest
quick.
movies of this year or last year or whatever it came out.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, whoa, what the
yeah. So
fuck?
it's slated for. It's coming out soon. It's 2027.
Okay.
It's
Oh.
gonna. It's sharing a release date with Secret Wars, Avengers Secret Wars,
Ooh, bro, what a double feature, bro. The Housemaid Secrets,
right?
the
And
Secret Day, bro. Secret Wars.
wait.
Yeah.
There's more. There's
What?
more. Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum also drops that day.
Yo, it should have been like the
So it's
Secret
gonna be the
Ring.
Lord of the Secret Housemaid.
No, Lord of the Secret, fuck, Lord of the Wars. That's not gonna
Lord of
work.
the Housemaid Wars. Lord of the Housemaid Wars.
Lord of the Housemaid Secret Wars. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. I like Kirsten Dunst. Like I said, I did enjoy that. You know, I have a soft spot in my heart for that film. I did enjoy that first one that came out somehow. So we'll see how that comes out. Hopefully, we'll be still going by then. We could review it. That'd be pretty cool.
I mean, sure. I would like to watch the first one, before just to get maybe some context. But
Yeah,
do you think
dude.
I would enjoy? Like, do you think is it a good movie? Like, is it an enjoyable movie at least? Not good, but just like enjoyable.
You're not
Like,
gonna like it. I like
you don't think I'm
on
gonna
real
like
talk. I
it?
don't think you would like it. I don't think so. But that's because I feel like you're hard to impress. Like I feel
I
like you're
really
very selective
don't
about
think
what you
I'm hard
like.
to impress. I think if it maintains like a certain tone of like maybe what I don't know. I don't know what it is, but if it maintains a certain
Maybe
tone, I'm
you'll like
happy.
it. I don't know. Maybe you'll secretly really like it. Maybe it'll be like a guilty pleasure for you.
But then
Who
I'll just
knows?
come on the podcast and say I actually hate it, and it was actually the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, you can't let people know that you
Listen,
like it.
it's all about the aura, really. You know, you got to maintain a certain
Exactly.
aura. It can't be a bunch of
Exactly.
stuff like
Exactly.
that. Um,
Exactly.
but yeah. Anything else
Yeah.
on Poppin?
Yeah. Last piece of news that I'm gonna talk about is that I didn't know this, but I brought it up to Nick before the recording, and apparently he knew. But there's a Stepsisters live action Cinderella spinoff coming from Disney with Akiva Schaffer directing, who apparently is the guy behind the Naked Gun reboot from last year. Um, I think that's a very strange movie to make. Nick said it's probably going to be a Disney Plus thing,
I
and
mean,
I would not be surprised.
I think they already have kind of like made like a mini animated movie about the stepsisters in the past. Like it was like a straight to DVD thing that came out in like the early 2000s when there was no reason to make a Cinderella sequel or prequel, which I think it was. So it's like it's not that hard of a thing. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but it's like not that hard of a thing to imagine, especially if they're just trying to exploit whatever other IP that they have. Um,
Right.
but you know, I genuinely could not It's just Disney slop. You know what I mean? I don't know if we did already talk about it. Yeah, it's just Disney slop, and I couldn't particularly care. And also Akiva Schaffer, he's just kind of I mean, no, I like the Naked Gun. Did you like the Naked Gun? Hold on, did we talk about it? I think
Yeah,
we
I
did.
did. It was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. And then I don't know. His projects don't seem just that aren't that interesting to me, or at least that interestingly directed. As much as I liked it, like I didn't think it was really all that in terms of like direction. And he just kind of seems to make like comedy kind of focused for like Disney sort of audiences, straight to DVD, Disney Plus slot. Not to,
Hmm.
yeah, not to offend the guy in case he ever listens, because I know he's listening to Popcorn Problems. I know
Of
big people in
course.
Hollywood listen
Who
to Popcorn
isn't?
Problems. That's right. That's what
Who
I'm
isn't?
saying. Yeah, no, exactly. I have a microphone to my world right now, to the world right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I don't know. I couldn't care less about this movie. Whatever. It's gonna come out, and then nobody's
Yeah,
gonna watch it.
I could not care, but I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was like a secret announcement, but Nick told me that he knew, so
I think
I
I only like saw it on like a tweet, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Like that makes sense. I was like,
yeah. Okay, so that's kind of all the headlines I have for this week. That brings us to the end of what's poppin' and into what we watched. I'm going to start. One thing that I watched this week is I've been rewatching How I Met Your Mother.
hmm,
It is something I watched for the first time a couple of years ago, and I fell in love with that show. I think it's hilarious. I think it's heartfelt. If you haven't seen How I Met Your Mother, even if you don't like sitcoms, it's not your regular sitcom. It's more episodic in the sense that like there's an overarching story.
hmm.
Um, really good comedic performances, really heartfelt performances.
Jason Segel's in it, right?
Um, Jason Segel's in it, Neil Patrick Harris, Colby
Hmm.
Smulders,
Yeah.
Josh Radner, other people. It's great. It's great. I just finished season two, so I'm on season three right now. It goes down really, really easy. It goes by quick, and it's like a very rewarding watch. Like it definitely is like so. There's so many like setups and payoffs in the show and ways you wouldn't expect, and it's
Hmm.
just very rewarding to watch. Um, so yeah, I'm working my way through How I Met Your Mother. I don't intend to stop my rewatch anytime soon. My only complaint is they took it off of Netflix, so I'm like
Uh,
watching it on Disney through Hulu, like Disney Plus through Hulu,
yeah.
or
Okay.
Hulu through Disney, like Hulu on Disney Plus.
Uh huh.
And so there's like ads on it, which is kind of annoying. And like it's like three times an episode. It kind of drives me
That's
crazy.
crazy.
And this
Yeah.
is the
No,
only show I'm gonna sit through it for, just because I do truly love the show.
bro. And each ad is like a minute long. It
Dude,
sucks.
I mean, they sometimes they're two.
Dude, that's crazy. No, yeah, I get it. Or I mean, I wouldn't be able to. But yeah, I mean, I've always heard great things of How I Met Your Mother. I've been recommended to it several times by both you and others. Alon,
Mhm.
it looks like a fun show. I've seen clips of it online, and I laugh. I think I just haven't committed myself to it, but I have been needing something to watch recently, so
I will say
it might be the time.
it's the definition of like a comfort show. Like
Okay,
it's like a friend that you didn't know you need. That's like how I would describe it.
okay, I like that description.
Which is like weird, I guess, but yeah.
Hmm. Um, yeah. So I guess this week I haven't watched much. I just watched this one movie, actually in class, which is 1961's The Innocents, directed by. Give me one second. Directed by Jack Clayton. Um, it's like it's a black and white, like kind of like old Hollywood type movie. It's a novella. It's based on a play from William Archibald, who is apparently a really renowned author. Yada yada, whatever. Point being, I saw this film and it's beautifully shot and really well acted. It's about this woman who's hired to be a nanny to take over these kids, and then these kids act weird, and she's trying to figure out why these kids are acting weird. And I'll leave it at that.
Hmm.
Um, overall, like, it was a really interesting story, and like I said, everything is really beautifully shot in black and white, like with harsh shadows and like focus on the faces and everything like that. Um, and it wasn't, and it was well acted, but I just found it boring after, and it was only like I think an hour and 30 minutes. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too long. An hour and 40 minutes, but I just got really bored by the end of it, because a lot of what makes the film is just kids like screaming and yelling at each other and other people, and then like kind of being weird. Um, and it's not funny at all. It's like played 100% straight. Not that it can't has to be funny for it to work, but it just gets annoying after a while. It's like 80 minutes. What? How long is it? It's like 100 minutes of just kids screaming on tape. So it's an interesting movie to look at. Maybe just have it on mute if you were to watch it for any reason other than historical. The Innocents, 1961. Did you watch anything else on that?
Nice. Yeah. I have two other things I want to quickly mention. I rewatched Scream 7 in theaters, uh, once again, just because it's gonna be leaving theater soon, and I just wanted to give it one more watch. Yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoy it more and more with every single watch. This is the third time I've seen it, and this is the most I've enjoyed it. Um, I went with a friend who didn't see it yet, and he really enjoyed it, and it was really fun, like just like talking about the kills with someone who like isn't like that into Scream, and
Mm-hmm.
we're just there like just for a good time, and he certainly had a good time, and I think that's why the Scream franchise works so well. It's just because they're all such good times, even like the ones that are not as good, like Scream 3, or some people consider Scream 7 not to be not that good. They're still fun movies, even though they could get a little silly or stupid or whatever. The kills are always gonna be fun. It's just always gonna be a good time. You find comfort in the characters. Um, yeah, it was a great time at the theater rewatching Scream 7 again. And the other thing I wanted to mention was I watched Requiem for a Dream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a movie that I've been meaning to get to for a while, and it's one that I started and then I turned off because of Jared Leto. I don't like Jared Leto. Uh,
Wow. Okay.
yeah, and so I've just been like pushing it off, and then I found it on VHS.
Uh huh.
I bought it, and I finally sat down and I watched it. And yeah, I thought it was phenomenal. I really, really enjoyed it. I really didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did,
Mm-hmm.
but I was in it for the entire runtime. Um, I thought the camera work. I mean, it's Aaron Aronofsky. He knows how to use a camera, obviously. But
Sure.
this is one of his, this is an earlier film of his, and you really see um, like some interesting things, especially when the characters are like on drugs. Like the
Mm-hmm.
way that he shoots those scenes, the editing of them, the way that they're shot, and the way that the actors are playing it. I don't know. It worked for me. I thought it was really, really well done, well constructed. The score, I did not know like the music from this film was from this film. Like I heard the music before,
Yeah.
like just in through culture, and so it was really cool to find out that like that like music was
Da
like
da da
the
da da da. Yeah, I know
yeah,
what
it
you're
was
talking
like
about.
the score from this film. That was a really cool thing to find out. And yeah, the score just works so well. Um, It was also really cool to find out Marlon Wayans is in this movie. Did not know
Yeah.
that.
And
That
he's
was
great
a
in this
nice.
film too. Like he's like
Yeah,
genuinely
he's
giving a great performance.
yeah. It's just a great movie. I had a great time. Um, yeah, it's one I don't know if I would watch again anytime soon, just because it is kind of a tougher watch. It's
Mm-hmm.
uncomfortable and it dives into some pretty like dark topics. Um, but I think if you haven't seen it, and if you're like me and you're putting it off because of a certain actor in it,
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, give it a chance. It's really good. It's really well made, really entertaining. Um, yeah, and I've been thinking about it a lot since watching it. So it's one that'll leave an impact on you. You've seen it, right? I
Yeah,
think you've seen this movie.
yeah. I mean, I'm very personally inspired by the way that this film is shot and edited, especially. I'm very much a big fan of like that sort of fast paced editing when necessary, and so I implemented a lot. So, or not a lot, or I try to. Um, it's a great movie. I feel like this this is the only, at least from what I remember, maybe not the only, but one of the only Jared Leto films that completely are safe from the judgment of Jared Leto being Jared Leto. Um, just because it happened pre everything. You know those people who own Teslas and then they have the sticker that's like, I bought this before Elon went crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how I
yeah.
feel
I
about
do.
Requiem for a Dream. Like I like this movie before Jared Leto went crazy, and he made it before he went crazy. So, or maybe he was
Yeah,
okay
and
with it.
he gives like a nice performance in it. His accent is a little iffy at times.
Yeah.
Just I don't think Jared Leto's the best actor, but
Uh-huh.
I think this is probably the best performance I've seen out of him. I mean, I guess other than Dallas Buyers Club.
Actually, I haven't seen Dallas Buyers Club. But yeah, no, yeah, it's a great movie. Um, very uncomfortable, very frankly gross, in the best way possible. And what Ilan said, you should go watch it if you haven't.
Yeah. Do you have anything else that you wanted to talk about this week?
I actually do, and kind of in a
Go
similar
ahead.
vein. I just remembered it a few minutes ago. I watched another round. I don't know who directed it, but starring Mads Mikkelsen, which is an entirely Polish film um, about a group of school teachers who decide to test out this like I don't know, like some sort of medical or philosophical theory about how humans, or maybe men specifically, I don't know, humans are born with a 0.5% deficiency of alcohol in their blood system, which makes them like depressed or sad or like inactive. So these
Mhm.
guys, these five group of dumb high school teachers, decide to drink during their day to to test out the theory if that's correct and what the effects are over time and yada yada yada. And you know
Interesting.
it's it's a really at points funny movie, but it turns into a horrifying, stomach churning, just like view on like addiction and alcoholism and everything like that. Um, it really, which is why I say it's also similar in the vein of Requiem for a Dream, where it like starts off a certain way and then it turns to a certain maintaining the theme of like addiction and with substances and everything like that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a beautifully shot film. It's a beautifully acted film from everyone, not just Mads Mikkelsen, even though he gives, you know, a general, his usual great performance. Um, finishes with something crazy or something that you wouldn't expect. Um, it's a great time, and honestly, I just love movies that kind of like take you through the full depth of a character's initial like bad decision about something, like and like shows you like, oh yeah, this is like what they decided to do, and then this is the consequences of everything, how it affects every single aspect of their life, and then turning into the end. um I'm a big fan of movies like that, and this kind of hit that itch without even knowing that I had that itch. So yeah, another round, starring Mads Mikkelsen. Give it a shot. Give it a round, maybe.
Cool.
Um,
Yeah, I just Googled it and I
mhm.
saw it's like free on YouTube. Is that how you watched it?
Oh, no, I actually watched it on Amazon Prime. I didn't
Okay,
know it was free on
cool.
YouTube. That's dope. Maybe I
Yeah.
should watch it.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else to talk about, do you?
Nope, me neither.
All right. So with that being said, let's move into our review of They Will Kill You. I will start with a quick spoiler-free summary, and then we will move into our review. Here we go. A woman answers a cryptic ad for a housekeeping job at a luxurious yet foreboding New York City high-rise. Upon arrival, she discovers residents have vanished without a trace for decades, fueling whispers of a satanic cult lurking in the shadows. Nick, what did you think of They Will Kill You?
Yeah, I had fun with it. That's kind of as deep as it goes for me. Um, it was a fun movie. It is something that you don't see every day. I do very much love the style of it and how, the way that the film was presented. Um, it had me like intense and engrossed throughout. But overall, like I kind of forgot about it after maybe 5 minutes after leaving the theater. It's a good movie, but it's nothing that I'm gonna remember at the end of the year and be like, maybe that's not true. I don't know. It just didn't catch me. It just didn't catch me as much as I wanted it to, because I do love the style. I just wish it had more substance. Is essentially what I'm saying. And there is a little
Mhm.
bit more that I have to say about that, but I kind of want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah. So this felt like a big tray of reheated nachos. This is essentially Ready or Not, right? And I think having seen the first one so recently and then having seen the second one even more recently than that, this doesn't have like the skill or the I don't know what word or like the grab or like the flavor to make it interesting to stand out. Um, I didn't really enjoy the movie. I thought it was fine. Um, I think the biggest issue was probably with like the script. I don't think the script worked very well for me. I don't think
Do you mean like the
uh
dialogue, or what do you mean by the script?
like the dialogue. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm not being specific enough. Like yeah, like the writing of it. I think the dialogue was really poor. I think just like the things happening in between the fight sequences were uninteresting and sometimes nonsensical. Um, I will give it credit where it's due. I think some of the fight sequences were very fun. They were gory, they were bloody. That was interesting. There were some like cool filmmaking flares here and there, which I felt were done a little poorly. I can appreciate what they were going for and like the style that they were going for, but I don't know. I didn't love it. I don't know. I think it really does get harmed. Like my opinion does get like really brought down by the fact that it is so similar to Ready or Not, and that I did watch those so close in time together. Um, yeah, I was honestly pretty disappointed because I enjoy Sassy Beats, and I didn't like her here too much. I found her performance to be like stiff and kind of like awkward. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna throw it back to you, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I can 100% see that. I will say, when the trailers came out for this film, they were coming out simultaneously with the trailers for Ready or Not 2, and so I had those two in my head. And and I did think like, isn't this kind of like a similar plot? But I haven't
Oh,
seen.
it's the exact same.
It's the exact
Down
same,
to like
right?
the satanic aspects, down
Right,
to the
right.
satanic aspects. I'll explain like more differences like once we get to spoilers, but like if you're gonna watch any of those, I would watch Ready or Not just because it's a more fun movie.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I thought about that, but then how I hadn't seen either of them, so I just kind of forgot about it. And then just watching this movie, you know, I do think it's interesting not having the perspective or having the perspective of someone who has seen Ready or Not, because you seem a lot more angry about it than I do. I'm more just like, it's just another movie. But I can, especially because you like those, you like Ready or Not, and wait, did you say you saw Ready or Not too? Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. I talked about it. I enjoy that film.
yeah, exactly. So like, I can understand being angry about that.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I was tricked into rewatching the same movie again. Just like should have like not
Should
as
have.
good and with not as charismatic of a lead
Mm-hmm.
and not as well written and not as good. Like the side characters were very fun in both of the Ready or Not films. Here they were boring, they were bland. One of them was played by Draco Malfoy, which just was distracting. I don't know. Like I guess this guy like can't catch a break, right? Because people shit on him for like not moving past Harry Potter, and he's like in another thing, and I'm like I can't take him seriously because he's Draco Malfoy. Um, I don't know.
Okay.
I just didn't find myself to care. I didn't care about the sister character.
Mm-hmm.
The only side character that I found some interest in was like the lead maid. Um, but all the people surrounding her were uninteresting. Her like husband character was uninteresting. Um, yeah, I just feel like everything felt very flat to me. Like I said, it was a poorly written script. I feel like, um, and it definitely goes a little ham in the third act in a way which I don't really love. I think it was a fun way to take it. That's like was a good way to defer it from Ready or Not. But I think it might have jumped the gun a little bit, like jumped the shark. I mean, I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, do you have anything else you want to mention before we get into
Honestly,
spoilers
I was
here?
gonna say, yeah, no, we can go into spoilers. If you're down to go into spoilers.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by where it went at the end. I have to say.
Wait, are we in spoilers right now? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
okay,
If you haven't seen the movie and you plan to, now's a good time to click off.
yeah, okay. Um, yeah, I mean, it felt natural to me. I was like, okay, cool. I mean, I when we were getting towards that basement scene at the end, I was like, I want to see like a giant like Satan CGI whatever thing, like blood and horns and wings and whatever. And
So I
honestly,
guess you got what you were looking for.
I was a little
Ugly fucking
disappointed.
pig thing. Oh, really?
I mean, I thought it was a fun like idea. It was a fun gimmick. But a lot of the film for me was like that extremity, that like the craziness of it all, like seeing how far it'll go. And I like that aspect of it. I had a lot of fun with the way that it presented itself. I want to talk about I want to talk about a few things. The crawling through the hallways, or the crawling through the cupboards, whatever you call that, air pipes,
Mm-hmm.
and then like how it was all like black, and then just the part of the cupboards was like colored with the characters inside them. Um, that I really liked. I really liked the shrinking head girl. I thought that was funny. Um,
Yeah. There were some. Okay, I think I'm being very negative. There were some like good bits. I
yeah,
did enjoy some of the action sequences, some of the fight scenes. Um, and like the gimmick of them like being able to regenerate was like interesting, but I feel like they could have done more with it.
I
I
agree.
guess there was just like a lack. There was just a large amount of wasted potential. I guess that's my big
It
thing.
felt like a video game to
Is it
me.
could have been. I see that. Yeah, like a video game cutscene almost.
No, like the whole thing just felt like this would be more fun if I was playing this. Like if I was this character and then I had a bunch of like immortal zombies and I was trapped in a room. It felt like Batman Arkham, low key.
Hmm. I get that. It
And
would make for like a fun like video game, like a VR experience.
yeah,
That'd
honestly.
be pretty cool.
But like that's kind
That'd
of
be pretty cool.
that's what I mean. Where like I felt like the plot was like pretty thin. I also didn't really care about like the sister storyline. I thought that was gonna matter a lot more, but also that got resolved pretty quickly. I genuinely, there was a point when she first finds her sister in that bonded sex room, and then And then her sister's like, I don't want to go. Um, and then I'm like, oh shit, I need to go to the bathroom. So then I go to the bathroom for like, I don't know, maybe 2-3 minutes. I don't remember how long. And then I come back and then I see that her sister's in a ball gag. And then I asked my friend right next to me, I'm like, so did she kidnap her sister so that she could go with her? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, I knew where that was going. In general, I felt the whole movie was pretty predictable. Um, you know, that's kind of what I mean when I say like I wanted more. I like the moments of extremity, the moments of like pizzazz, the eye. I was a big fan of too. There were moments that did shine with creativity, but I think it really came down to just a first draft, poorly thought out premise and story idea and like emotional arc. That I agree with you
Yeah.
when like Zazie Beetz was like kind of not giving her or she was kind of awkward. Um,
Yeah, I just think it was really poorly released. I think it's just a terrible time to release
mm-hmm.
it. So close to the Ready or Not sequel. Um, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. That made no sense. And as you could look in the box office, I mean, this one didn't make much money, and the other one fell a lot in this weekend, right? So it's just having a negative impact on both of them.
Yeah. Points for style, like I said, gave me a lot of
Yeah,
like old kind of like samurai, Tarantino, Kill Bill, other things that I can say, whatever, but it doesn't matter.
yeah, a lot of Kill Bill, a lot of like Tarantino inspirations. Like visually, there were some cool visuals, and the production design is cool, like the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we saw more of that. I wish we got more of like the location. Ready or Not seethes in its location. It takes so much time to like explore it, especially in the first one. Explore like the mansion where it's taking place. I wish we got more of that. It's hard for me not to draw the
Sure.
comparisons when they're such similar films, right? So that's just how I'm gonna have to look at it.
No, I get you, and honestly, you're
Um,
just making me want to watch Ready or Not. I mean, I was interested in that movie when it first came out. I just never came around to watching it.
yeah, yeah. What's it called? I was honestly just happy when the credits started rolling. It's not one that I plan to ever rewatch or that I can honestly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
And the more I talk about it, I think the less I like it. So,
Or is it because you're racist and you prefer when the lead is white and not when they're black? Is that what it is, Alon?
what? Yeah, honestly, I don't really have much else to add about the film. Do you?
Not really. I will say I think I would stylistically. I mean, there's a reason I actually went to watch this one and not Ready or Not. You know what I mean? I do think stylistically it
Mhm.
is more interesting, maybe, than at least what was marketed to me about Ready or Not, both one and two. I keep seeing trailers
Mhm.
for that second movie, and I'm not interested. It does not. It makes me less interested to watch the original film. Um, so I don't know. Maybe that's also just like a marketing thing, but I don't know. It's not a bad time at the theater. I will say. It's just don't expect anything deep or oh, I do actually have one thing to say. I forgot this up until
Go
now.
ahead.
The film pushes this like narrative about like literally the opening quote is like
Oh yeah, like
poor versus
the
rich.
rich and poor.
Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
has nothing to say.
Nothing at
It
all.
says absolutely nothing.
Absolutely
And
nothing.
I actually to the point where I forgot that was even a part of the film until you just brought it up, because it does absolutely nothing. And then at the end of the film, she's like, "Oh, bunch of fucking rich people,"
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
she says.
And I'm like,
Right?
this is fucking
We
nothing about
got
them said
none
rich
of that.
people.
We got none of that. None of that came across in the film. Um, wow, I completely forgot about that. That's yeah,
I forgot
so
about it
stupid.
literally right until now because that's how insignificant it is to the plot. It's just like not.
Like the movie doesn't care. I don't care. Simple as that.
It tries to add a theme or a layer which is just non-existent throughout the whole film, and then tries to make it like either
You can't
a
just say
Rennie.
things. Like you can't just say it and think that you're like being deep or whatever. That's not how it works.
Oh my god! But they did. But yeah, other than that, um, it's not a completely horrible time at the theater. I will say if you do want like something like stylistically interesting and just like fun in terms of like the action sequences, because the action sequences are nice. I would say go watch it. You know, like I said, don't think anything deep about it, but I feel like you differ, Alon.
Yeah, I can't really give this recommendation.
Sure.
Um, I can recommend you to go. I can redirect you to Ready or Not if you're looking for this type of movie. Just because I think that movie does everything this movie does better. Yeah.
I can understand that.
If you want to pity Tom Felton, you can totally watch this movie. So I will say that.
I didn't even recognize that that was Tom Felton. I'm not into Harry Potter either. Um, Kind of very much switching the topic, but what did you think of that new Harry Potter trailer?
Oh, so true. That did come out. I think it is hilarious. And you probably can't hear it in my voice how funny I think it is. But I think it is truly hilarious that they can't make it look different at all because of the theme parks, right? So it is literally the same,
Yeah.
except the actors. And I think that is so fucking funny because I think the only interesting maybe idea of like being able to do the show is to like reimagine the universe, I guess,
Yeah.
right? That's the point of a reboot, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nope, nope. And I think that's great. That's so funny to me because the show knows exactly what it is. So I'm fine with that. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I think this is probably going to make it to maybe season three, maybe because I think they're already in production on or writing season two or
I
whatever.
suppose, yeah.
So I think we're going to get Chamber of Secrets. Maybe we'll get Azkaban. I doubt it'll go past that. I doubt it. Um, Hilarious to me. I think dropping it on Christmas is a very aggressive choice on their end, which is a choice, and also it seems like it's going to be a binge. I think
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
so. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be popular, but that's just because people like what they're comfortable with, and this is the most safe thing that they could have done.
Yeah, it really just looks worse. I've just seen
Yeah,
screenshots
it
of
just
like
looks
both
worse.
both movies, you know, or not both movies. The TV show trailer shots and then like the movie shots of like what the original was. It genuinely just looks worse and it's pointless.
Yeah,
Like most of these reboots,
soulless.
I do think it is very
Where's the
funny.
color? Where is the color?
Not here.
This is supposed to be
Lost,
the
missing.
color, the most colorful and whimsiest out of all of them. They like do what the movies did and how they just got darker and darker,
Hmm.
like as they went on. This should be the most like, oh my god, we're whimsy, we're magic, we're in Hogwarts. You get none of that here, so kind of disappointing.
Yeah, it's the staleness of capitalism right there. Making sure that you can't change anything about the properties you love because we have already invested too much money into it.
Yeah,
I just think that's a great way you put it.
yeah, yeah, and I mean, what pisses me off is that like there were ways that they could have made Harry Potter like spin-off shows.
Hmm.
They could have done like a Marauder show, which is like the Marauders were like Harry's like parents, like Harry's dad
Okay.
and like his friends. And like we get like a lot of that like in the books and a little bit in the movies. But like we don't really learn too much about them. So like people have been asking for like spin-offs of like their adventures at Hogwarts.
Hmm.
Or they could have went back in time and shown like the founders of Hogwarts like building it because we have a little bit of lore on the four founders like Slytherin and Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw and which one am I missing? Gryffindor. Um, so that could have been an interesting thing to have them like show the origin of Hogwarts, but then that would require a new story. So you can't do that because then you would have to think stuff up. You can't expect them to come up with a new story. Why would you do that?
This is
That makes
this
no
is
sense.
this is Warner Brothers post everything happening. They're not gonna care. They couldn't care less. They just want this to be their cash cow, bro. Make
Yeah,
money already. Print
yeah.
money already.
Exhausting. I guess call me jaded, call me whatever. I think it's gonna be a steaming pile of horseshit. I don't think it'll be good. I think it'll probably look cheap. I think they're probably gonna it's gonna be like the Disney Plus and the like the that type of issue where like they can't use too much of the CGI, so they have to be like very selective with like how they do things. And I think it's gonna be all the worse for it, and I'm not looking forward to it personally.
Yeah, I just think it's gonna be hilarious. Look, seeing how much time they waste of Harry Potter fans by expanding these books into, instead of just like one book being one movie, expanding one book into a season. Um, and just noticing all the dumb shit that did not need to be in any of these stories that they cut out of the book, out of the movies for a good reason. Um,
No, okay,
I'm
that's
sure
where I will say
I'm sure
like
there are
there is a
things.
lot in the books. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that like they cut from the books, which I guess could be interesting. But I don't know. Like, I think
That's
if
my.
you
I
were gonna
mean,
do it, you should have done an animated show because then you could really go all the way
see,
with
that would
it,
have been
right?
fun. I would have been into
You
that.
you're not like you could they should have done an animated show like in the art style of like the book
Hmm.
like cover design. You know what I'm talking
I
about?
do
Like
know what
the
you're talking
iconic
about.
like book.
Yeah,
Like that would have been so fucking cool. But then you have to put like a lot of like effort into that, right?
we don't want to do
So
animation. That's for
like
losers. What are you fucking talking about?
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, I
So
am sure there are interesting stories within those chapters of those books. I'm just saying that I know not everything that they're gonna put in within the film footage of the show is gonna be interesting. Is gonna be stretched out.
oh yeah, and you know they're gonna make their own changes and their own creative choices, which are gonna go over swell.
Absolutely, they already have. They already have.
Oh yes, the most agreed upon castings in all of fiction.
Absolutely, couldn't have argued about it better myself. Um, um, but yeah, and then just in general, I mean, I'm not even a Harry Potter fan, so I don't have much skin in the game. Um, I did have another point, but now I believe I forgot it. I just feel. Oh, I think it's interesting. I remember now. I think it's interesting that you think this is going to get canceled. I actually think this is going to be very, very successful, and I think it is going to run through all eight
Oh,
books.
I'm not saying it's not gonna be successful. I think it's gonna be unrealistic with like the production of it. I think it's gonna cost too much, and it's not gonna make enough to warrant what it's gonna cost. And it's gonna be, dude, Stranger Things. That was only 5 seasons. They're gonna go 8. Their
But we
Dumbledore
don't even
is
know the
80
budget.
something years old.
But we don't know the budget of this Harry Potter show, or have they said that?
I don't know if they have, but it's probably a lot.
I'm sure
It's
it's a
probably a
lot,
lot,
but I also
and it's only gonna go up. It's only gonna go up.
and then but that's what I mean. Like I don't think it's gonna go up. You know, that's never the game. That's never the aim. They're gonna give it a bump if it does well, but the aim of these production companies is always to make the next season a little cheaper, or you know, give it a little bit more money, but like just, you know, milk as much of it as with as little cash that we can. So I think they figured out a way to make the season cheap, or not cheap. I'm sure they've spent a lot more money than any other TV production. But in relative to what you would make this in terms of like if it was a movie, cheap. That's also why I don't think any of the extra stuff that they add in the chapters are going to be interesting, because I feel like a lot of the interesting things that have to do with Harry Potter has to do with like the fantastical elements, the magic elements, you know, when they're actually using the powers and actually being in the wizarding world, you know, the whole point. They're not going to find a way to do that cheap and good. It's gonna look half-assed, as the trailer already does. So you know that's why there's gonna be no value. What there's gonna be no value added, and what is of value, which is the actual story and what remains of the original movies, it's just gonna be decreased. So in general, it's like a black hole of entertainment if you really want to think about it like that. That will run on for at least
Yeah,
5 years.
yeah. We'll see how it turns out, right? We'll see come Christmas time. I do think Christmas makes sense. Harry Potter, especially the first one,
Yeah.
is a very like Christmassy vibe, like wintry vibe.
I
Um,
think the word aggressive that you said is very interesting. It's a very like aggressive day to
yeah,
put it on.
It's a super aggressive day because there's already so much coming out. There's Doomsday, there's Dune, there's Jumanji 3 on the day that it's coming out.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And there's other stuff in that month too that I'm forgetting. Um, but yeah, mostly just because of Dune and Avengers, I would say, is like
Well, that's
the
not on
big.
Christmas though. Dune and Avengers is the 18th.
Yes, but you gotta remember when a movie like Avengers, like for it to do what it needs to do,
I suppose.
I mean,
I think there's enough space for like because they also exist in like different realms. But I understand what you're saying. Like it is a pretty packed month in general for like people
yeah,
to get into new things. I understand that.
yeah. Also, I feel like it was a surprise that it was coming out this year. I feel like that wasn't like nobody really expected that. I thought that was like 27, 28, the first season,
Hmm,
but it's coming out this year, so we'll see.
for sure.
Yeah. With that being said, I don't have much else to add. Do you?
Nope. No, I don't.
Cool. So that's it for episode 31 of Popcorn Problems. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you made it this far, you're the real MVP. We'll be back next week reviewing the sequel to the billion-dollar film Super Mario Bros. Galaxy. In the meantime, hit us up on socials at Popcorn Problems Pod and let us know what you thought of They Will Kill You. Don't forget to follow, rate us 5 stars on whatever platform you're using, and DM us your hottest takes and suggestions. We will see you next time. Peace.
Have a good one.